What's up, girls? My next guest, who just walked into the Connie Club, is my pal Jerry Phillips. Now, Jerry Phillips' father was Sam Phillips, the man who discovered Elvis Presley. Yes, some people call him the man who invented rock and roll. He discovered Elvis, Jerry Lee Lewis, Roy Orbison, Howlin' Wolf, recorded B.B. King. He was an amazing producer and innovator. Let me sit down with my pal Jerry and talk to him about growing up with Elvis. What was it like to have Elvis Presley around the house? What's that like to have Elvis drop by the house?
Well, man, it's as a childhood, I wasn't like a little baby, but I mean, I was old enough to know what was going on, when Elvis was dropping by. And first of all, he brought the best looking women I'd ever seen in my life with him every time. And all the guys, the Memphis Mafia guys that he was hanging with him, they all had good-looking girls too, because it was easy to get a date. I learned this when I got a little older, that Elvis would show movies at the Memphian Theater all night long, and you could go up to anybody and say, "Hey, would you like to come with me to watch movies with Elvis Presley all night long?" What do you think the answer was going to be?
I'd go.
They went, every single one of them. Like I said, unless they were having a baby in the morning or surgery or something, they were coming. But yeah, listen, man, I wouldn't take anything from my upbringing with Elvis driving by. He always he never really made plans. He just would call about 10:30 or something and ask Sam was home. Sam would be there. He said, "Well, we're going to drop by for a little while, So they kept by about 11 o'clock, and my mother would get up and fix breakfast for everybody before they left the next morning. He'd always leave about 6, right before it got daylight. And she'd fix a big breakfast for 15, 20 people, and it was just great. Then there was Jerry Lee Lewis dropping by, and Johnny Cash, and Roy Orbison lived with us for 2 weeks, and right before Claudette got killed, his wife.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, I don't know if anybody else has had, and I don't mean this in any kind of braggadocious way, but my brother Knox, our upbringing was very unusual, but in another way it wasn't unusual because of who we were and who our father was, and so it was wonderful. So it really was.
So I want to ask you about Jerry Lee Lewis. I mean, he was a wild man, but kind of a genius in the studio. It was always a crazy scene when he recorded. Listen to this little clip of him in the studio.
Get the killer down on tape right, and we'll make millions.
There's a record that came out a couple years ago called the Knox Phillips Sessions on Jerry Lee. That's some 70s Jerry Lee.
Yep.
Were you around for that?
I was.
And if so, what can you share?
Well, I can share this. Jerry Lee Lewis was out of his contract. He was free, to do whatever he wanted to do. And, there were some drugs involved, but what I mean, it was more like speed and stuff like that. It wasn't like LSD or anything like that. It was like just wild, man. I mean, and it was nonstop. Jerry Lee Lewis in charge of his own session. He didn't have any Nashville, and I like Nashville, don't get me wrong, but he didn't have any Nashville producer telling him what to do. My brother was there. I was there most of the time, but my brother was really producing that record, and he just pretty much we had like I don't know how many reels of tape. We just let it roll, just let it roll, just let it roll, just let it roll, and I mean it was some fantastic stuff. And right in the middle of the song, Jerry Lee would go. He'd do the key thing to rake the keys, and he'd go, "Well, the pills just hit." Then he'd go, and then he'd start playing faster than hell, and he'd making up words, and it was a masterpiece. And I told Knox, I said, "You know what? Sam cut the first great records on Jerry Lee Lewis, and you cut the last great records on him." And it's true.
Yeah, I agree. So check out what he did with the cute little song Bad Bad Leroy Brown. Listen to what he did with that.
But I met a stud called Leroy, and Leroy, he was mean. You better watch your cat like that, 'cause there ain't no telling what he's gonna hang on to. He's bad, bad Leroy Brown, meanest stud in the whole damn town, meaner than old King Kong. He's rougher than a junkyard dog.
Man, that is wild. And that was recorded at Phillips Recording, your dad's studio in Memphis, Tennessee. And you just recorded your very first solo album there. Yes, and it is fantastic. There's a song from it that I adore called Specify. Let's hear a clip of that song right now.
Boys, let's give it a shot. Come on, man. Let's start this thing off. Here we go now. I come from Memphis, on the outskirts of town. I don't know it all, but I've been around. I ain't no movie star, but I aim to please, baby. 'Cause I got skills that you ain't never seen. Come on, baby, tell me what you want. Tell me how you need it. Show me how to touch you, baby, to make you feel it. Break it down in detail, come on, y'all. Every little desire. Don't you know, baby, I wanna light your fire. You gotta specify. Come on. Tell me what you want me to do. Easy, boy. I can take direction.
God, I love that song, Specify. Off the Record for the Universe by my pal Jerry Phillips. It'll be out August 23rd on Omnivore Records. Check it out. Hey, Jerry, is there something you want to say to the kids in the Connie Club right now?
Hey, everybody, this is Jerry Phillips from Memphis, Tennessee, and I'm hanging out with the Connie Club on WXPN Radio with Low Cut Connie himself, and I want to leave you with 2 words to remember forever. Rock on. Rock on, rock on, rock on, rock on, rock on, rock on, rock on.